Welcome back to Sissy Maya. Make sure to subscribe to our channel to never miss an update. Additionally, consider subscribing to my Patreon to get access to these features, and much more. Liam and Maya had been inseparable friends for as long as they could remember. They attended the same university, and after graduating, they lived together in the city. While Liam was currently unemployed, Maya's new job paid well enough to support them both. They shared everything and felt fortunate to have such a strong friendship. Everything seemed perfect except for one issue. Though their bond was purely platonic, Maya found it difficult to meet men who accepted her having such a close male friend. Liam rarely dated, but during university, there had been a brief period when their friendship blurred into something more intimate. Liam hadn't shared this with Maya, but he held on to those feelings. Maya, though deeply fond of Liam and closer to him than anyone else, knew that phase was over. She hated hurting him, and even if he never said it, she knew she did. Her attempts to set him up with women had failed, leaving her unsure of what to do. One evening, Maya and her new boyfriend Kevin were alone in the living room. Liam was out with a friend and wouldn't be home until late. After the movie ended, Maya and Kevin became physically affectionate, half-dressed on the couch, unaware Liam was about to come in. Liam stumbled through the back door, smelling heavily of alcohol. "Hey, he muttered, clearly drunk. Maya quickly pulled on her clothes, flustered. "Liam, I thought you were out tonight." Kevin frowned. "Who's this?" Liam extended a hand, slurring, "Liam's my name. Pleased to meet you." Maya tried to explain, "Kevin, this is my roommate, Liam." "Roommate? Oh, I see." Kevin stood up, pulling on his jacket. "Sorry, Maya. Not really my thing." Maya, near tears, pleaded, "No, really, we're just friends." Kevin shook his head. "Sorry, I gotta go. Later, Maya." He slammed the door behind him. "Damn." Maya yelled at Liam. "You said you'd be out tonight." Liam shrugged, "Sorry, had too much to drink." "You're better off without that guy anyway." "I like him, Liam. Why won't you let me have a life?" Liam sneered, "Didn't realize you were planning to sleep with that steroid freak." Maya bit back, "Maybe I was." Liam's face fell. "How can you be with those jerks? I thought we were close." "We are close," Maya said softly, "but I need to have relationships with other men. I don't want to hurt you, but I can't keep living like this. You need to accept our friendship and let me live my life. And you have to live yours." Liam, near tears, muttered, "I thought, forget it." He stumbled upstairs and slammed his door. Maya called after him but stopped herself. Letting him sleep it off seemed best. The next morning, Liam was cold and distant. Maya tried to talk during breakfast, but he gave only short replies. He took his coffee and newspaper and sat silently. When Maya left for work, she said goodbye but got no response. Maya couldn't focus at work, her mind consumed with worry. She loved Liam deeply, but it wasn't enough for him. She knew becoming his girlfriend would be wrong, she didn't feel that way and feared it would ruin their friendship. By late afternoon, she left the office and wandered through the city's market area, hoping the distractions would clear her head. While browsing a street vendor's jewelry, she noticed a small shop called The Occultist. Curious, she stepped inside. The shop was dim and packed with strange objects and books. An old man with white hair sat behind the counter. "Hello, can I help you?" he asked with a raspy voice. Maya startled. "Oh, no thanks. Just looking around." "You seem troubled." Maya hesitated. "I had a fight with a friend." "Looking for a solution?" "I guess not. It's not like a magic potion could fix things." The old man smiled slyly. "You'd be surprised." "How so?" "There are things beyond what we understand." "Want me to help?" Maya thought, "What do I have to lose?" "Okay." She told him her story. The man listened carefully, nodding. Then he disappeared into the back room and returned with a small, ugly wooden leprechaun carving. "How's this supposed to help?" Maya asked skeptically. It grants wishes, not big ones, but it can help bring harmony if you wish for it. Feeling foolish, she asked, how much? Take it and try. If it works, you pay what you think it's worth. The man began wrapping it carefully. Before she knew it, Maya was driving home with the small leprechaun carving, feeling a bit foolish. When she arrived, she found Liam packing his things. What are you doing, Liam? She asked. He looked up, eyes heavy. Maya, I love you more than anything, but this situation feels impossible. I've arranged to stay with someone else until I find my own place. I'm sorry. Tears welled in Maya's eyes. Liam, you're my best friend. I don't want to lose you. Please stay a little longer. We can try to work this out. Liam hesitated. I don't want to make you cry, but this is really hard for me. All right, I'll stay a bit longer. I don't want to lose you either. They shared dinner and laughed like old times. Though they watched a movie and talked as usual, Maya sensed a growing distance. Liam excused himself to bed. Maya noticed the package from the old man's shop still on the coffee table. She opened it and stared at the carving. Well, little guy, if you can help, please do. I wish our friendship with Liam could survive. She went to bed, unaware of a faint green glow emanating from under Liam's door. Liam woke early, planning a morning run. Not a morning person, he groaned inwardly, feeling off. Maybe he was coming down with something. He dressed slowly, then shuffled to the bathroom and turned on the shower. The mirror fogged with steam, hiding his reflection, probably for the best, he thought. He pulled down his boxer shorts and sat on the toilet. Maya was suddenly awakened by a scream. It came from the bathroom. She rushed over and was stunned by what she saw. There stood a blonde woman, wearing only a pair of men's boxer shorts. She had the look of a model, an hourglass figure about 36-24-35 C-cup chests, roughly 5 feet 9 inches tall, and maybe 125 pounds. Long blonde hair framed her striking, almost Nordic features. Maya thought, if Liam ended up like this, maybe things are looking up. The woman was nearly hyperventilating. Oh my God. Maya, what the hell is happening? Maya blinked. How does she know my name? Sit down and try to calm down. The woman obeyed. Maya handed her one of Liam's t-shirts to cover up and got her a glass of water. When she seemed steadier, Maya asked, Okay, you're calm now. Where's Liam? And what's your name? The woman stared at Maya, then said quietly, Maya, don't you understand? It's me. I'm Liam. Maya's mind raced. Everything turned confusing. Maya sat across from the stunning blonde in the kitchen. The clock read 9 a.m. For 2 hours, she had listened to this stranger recount unbelievable details only Liam could know. The woman cried a few times, and Maya handed her tissues. She repeated the story again, but Maya struggled to believe it. When I dropped my shorts to pee, it was gone. That's when I screamed. Then you found me. Maya, you have to believe me. How else could I know all this? I don't know what happened, but I am Liam, the woman said, pleading. But how? I want to believe you, really, but it's just so unbelievable. The woman looked away, lost in thought. Suddenly, she grabbed a pen and paper from a drawer, scribbled something, and shoved it toward Maya. What? Maya asked, then froze. It was Liam's signature, unmistakably genuine. Liam, do you believe me now? The woman asked. Yes, but how did this happen? If I knew, I wouldn't be so panicked. We need to see a doctor. Could it be something you ate? Maya, look at me. I've got C-cup chests, not hives. Yeah, fair enough. But there has to be a reason. Liam buried his head in his hands. I'm too exhausted to think. I need a bath and a nap. That's probably a good idea, Maya said. I'm calling in sick. When you wake up, we can talk. Okay, Liam replied, stifling a laugh. Look at it this way, I doubt your boyfriend Kevin would mind me living here now. As Liam headed upstairs, a thought struck Maya. She pushed it aside at first, but the morning's strange events made it seem plausible. She hurried to the front room and picked up the leprechaun carving from the coffee table. Liam filled the bathtub with warm water and stared at his reflection. Wow, I'm a knockout. He looked like a model, long blonde hair, deep blue eyes, Scandinavian features, a 36-24-35 figure with C-cup chests, standing 5 feet 9 inches. He stepped on the scale, 124 pounds. I've been meaning to lose weight, but 76 pounds overnight. He eased into the bath, still marveling at his sleek legs. As he soaked, he pondered the morning's surreal events. There had to be a logical explanation. But for now, he closed his eyes and let the warm water wash over him, grabbing a bar of soap and starting to lather. Liam opened his eyes and noticed the delicate hands washing the firm chests. Yeah, those are mine, he thought. Seeing an unclothed woman in the tub was strangely arousing, even though he was the woman. He closed his eyes and began gently massaging his chests, playing with his pointers. Wow, this feels amazing. Without fully realizing it, one hand slid down to his groin. Wait, he thought, I can't do this. I need to figure out what's going on, not get distracted. But it felt so good. Who'll ever know? And when I'm back to being a man, I'll know how to please a woman better. His hand touched the soft pubic area, and a finger explored gently. His body tensed as he began massaging his sensitive spot. He added another finger and started to move more quickly, building sensations until he reached a peak of pleasure unlike anything he'd ever known. He stepped out of the tub, dried off, and looked in the mirror. Wow, he said aloud to no one, then went to his bedroom and fell asleep. Liam's eyes fluttered open from a wonderful dream. He was lying on silk lace, and Harrison Ford, as Indiana Jones, had kissed him deeply. They shared an intimate moment and... Suddenly, Liam jolted awake. What the hell? He reached to his chest, feeling the firmness of his chests, and the memory flooded back. He glanced at the clock, 2 p.m. He'd only napped about 3 hours, but it felt longer. Figuring Maya was downstairs waiting, he got out of bed. Searching for clothes, he grabbed a pair of track pants that had been too small for years. He still had to roll them up, and a t-shirt. He tried a baseball cap to keep his hair back, and when that failed, tied it with an elastic. As he headed downstairs, he thought, what was that dream about? Just because I have a woman's body doesn't mean I'm suddenly gay. Still, more pressing matters awaited. Maya sat on the couch with the ugly wooden leprechaun carving on the coffee table. Liam was in a recliner, staring at her in disbelief. So you're saying that's why I'm like this now? He asked incredulously. Think about it, Liam. Ridiculous as it sounds, it's the only explanation that fits. I don't know. The old man said it grants wishes to bring harmony. I wished for our friendship to survive. I still don't get it. Our problems aren't from being close. You're my best friend. The problem is complications from being different genders. How can we be a problem if we're the same gender? No guy I dated would mind me having a female roommate. A male one? That's different. So you think Mr. Leprechaun magically turned me into a woman to save our friendship? Maya, what if I don't want to be a woman? I've been a guy for 24 years, and I'm not ready to give that up. Just rub his belly or whatever, and wish me back. I can't. I tried already, no luck. What? Is there a one-wish limit? Or did you waste the rest on a new car or something? No, it's not like that. I wished you back while you were sleeping, and nothing changed. Where's the shop? I'm going down there now. Liam's words were cut off by the doorbell. Oh God, it's Kevin, Maya said, peering out the window. I'm outta here, Liam said, rising. Wait, Maya begged. He saw someone here through the window. We don't need more problems. Please, just pretend you're my cousin. He'd never know. Liam looked at her. Okay, I guess a lot of your problems are because of me. But make it quick. Maya opened the door. Hello, Kevin. Want to come in? Kevin held a single rose and a letter. Hi Maya. I'm sorry about the other night. I wrote some things down to make it better. I can't stay long, but I hope you read the letter and maybe go out with me again. He noticed the blonde on the couch. Oh, hi. Sorry, I didn't know you had company. Maya, caught up in Kevin's sincerity, almost forgot Liam was still there. Oh, Kevin, this is Lena, my cousin. Lena, this is Kevin. Hello, Lena, Kevin said. Hi, Liam muttered without enthusiasm. Maya, coos, I'm going to the kitchen to start dinner. Nice to meet you, Calvin. Kevin. Yeah, whatever. Maya shot Liam a cold look as he left. Maya, you mean everything to me. I know I reacted badly the other night. I hope you'll see me again. Maybe we could double date with your cousin. My buddy Scott is single. Kevin smiled sheepishly. We'll see, Maya replied. Thanks for the rose. Talk later. Bye, Kevin said as he walked out to his car. Maya was inhaling the scent of the rose Kevin had brought when Liam returned to the room. Lover boy gone? Good, now, back to business. Where's this shop? Maya shot him a look he recognized all too well, the classic please do me a favor expression. What? Oh no. Don't tell me you're planning to set me up with one of his friends. Please, just one date. We need to get things stable again. After that, I promise, we'll find the shop and fix this mess. Liam ran a hand through his long hair. I'm definitely going to regret this. Liam sat up in bed, staring blankly as he replayed the past few days. Since waking up in the body of a stunning woman, his life had taken strange twists. He'd spent hours examining the leprechaun carving, which he and Maya believed caused the transformation, but it was just a simple statue. He'd tried wishing himself back countless times, no luck. Now he was gearing up for a double date with Maya, her boyfriend Kevin, and Kevin's friend Scott. Liam, called Lena when around Kevin, was skeptical about the whole date, but Maya had asked, and he'd agreed. He felt responsible for the tension between Maya and Kevin and wanted to help, though he doubted this would fix anything. Kevin's insecure about us, Maya had explained. Going out with another couple will help ease things back. If we rush, he might freak and leave. Liam wasn't convinced but was a man of his word. Maya promised to track down the shop the next day. One night as a woman won't kill me, could even be fun, he thought. Though it was only 5 p.m. and the guys weren't due until 8, Maya was already in the shower. When the water stopped, she stepped into his room. Ready to get dressed, Lena, she teased with a mischievous grin. Liam and Maya stood in her bedroom. He'd been here before, but this time felt different. Why shouldn't it? We're about to go on a date with some guys. This is weird. Maya had laid out clothes, faded jeans, a loose silk blouse, panties, a bra, and a camisole. Liam stared at them like ancient relics. Are the panties and bra really necessary? He asked. Come on, silly, what else are you going to wear? Boxers. Maya laughed, handing him the clothes. Go on, put these on. Call me if you get stuck. Liam returned to his room, placed the clothes on the bed, and stared at them. Well, might as well dive in. He shed his track pants and t-shirt and picked up the panties, feeling the silky lace unfamiliar against his skin. Taking a deep breath, he pulled them up his long legs. Wow, these actually feel pretty nice. But wait, remember, you're a guy doing this as a favor for Maya. Still, he couldn't help but enjoy the soft fabric. Next was the bra, delicate lace and silk. After a few tries, he managed to get it on. Though he'd been in this body for days, this was his first bra experience. At least it keeps things from bouncing around, he mused. He pulled on the camisole, so no one can see your bra, Maya had said, and smoothed it down. Looking in the mirror, he was amazed. The girl staring back looked like a Victoria's Secret model. The jeans fit well, snug, but manageable, and the blouse was a bit frilly, but wearable. Liam knocked on Maya's door. She wore a tan skirt and a sleeveless blue denim top. Let's see our party, girl, she smiled. Lena, you're beautiful, I'm jealous. Remember, it's temporary, Liam reminded her. And do you have to keep calling me Lena? You don't look much like an Liam to me. Get used to it, so we don't slip up tonight. Sit down, I'll do your makeup. Maya sat Liam, Lena, at her dressing table and began working. A few minutes later, she stepped back. Perfect. She spritzed a little perfume and spun the chair so Lena could see herself. Liam stared blankly at the reflection. He knew he was attractive, but this girl was stunning. The makeup enhanced his features, making his blue eyes piercing. How do you like it? Maya asked. Wow, was all he could say. You go wait downstairs. I still have a few things to finish. Yeah, Liam said, half in a daze. On his way down the hall, he caught his reflection in a mirror and stopped. The girl was unquestionably beautiful, 36-24-35, C-cup chests, 5 feet 9 inches, 124 pounds, long blonde hair framing exquisite features. I could have fallen in love with her, Liam thought. But now, I am her. A thought flickered, but he pushed it aside. They're here, Maya called from the front room. Liam's stomach twisted. Maybe this wasn't such a good idea after all. Maya appeared in the kitchen. Come on, she whispered. They entered the front room where Kevin and his friend Scott waited. Hello, Kevin, Liam muttered. Oh, hi. Lena, this is my friend Scott. Scott, looking nervous, extended his hand. Hello. Liam shook it, smiling. Hello, Scott. He's actually pretty good looking, Liam thought, and hey, I'm secure enough to admit that. He realized he was arguing with himself. Shall we go? Maya asked. The four grabbed coats and headed to the car. They went to a pub near the university that Liam used to frequent in his old life. He chuckled to himself when Joe, the bartender, gave him a curious glance as he walked to the booth they'd picked. Joe, if only you knew, he thought. The four talked about work, school, and hobbies, with Maya and Kevin doing most of the chatting. Liam, now Lena, carefully dodged personal questions and tweaked stories from his past when needed. Scott was quiet but clearly tried to catch Lena's eye, which Liam found endearing. I need to hit the ladies' room, Maya announced, looking at Lena. Right, women do this in pairs. Me too, Liam replied. They headed off together, entering new territory for Liam. Using the restroom felt normal now, and afterward, they fixed their makeup side by side. I think he really likes you, Maya whispered. That's nice, Liam said, touching up his lipstick. I hope he doesn't get too attached. Lena's got a big date tomorrow. Yeah, I know. This is just fun. I've never had a girlfriend I was that close to before. You know, Scott could pick almost any woman, and he seems smitten with you. Liam stayed silent but couldn't suppress a smile as they returned to the table. The evening continued with light conversation. Scott tried to engage more, and as Liam relaxed, he opened up too. Kevin and Scott looked surprised when the talk turned to baseball and Lena displayed more knowledge than both combined. Liam was enjoying himself until a song Maya loved played, and she suggested dancing. Liam hesitated, and Kevin was sore from a workout, so Scott and Maya took the floor. Liam felt awkward sitting alone with Kevin. Their conversation was strained. So, you and Maya are cousins? Kevin asked, grasping for something to say. Yep, Liam replied shortly. Kevin said, filling the silence. Your cousin's amazing. I don't think I've ever met anyone like her. I guess she told you about our problems. A little, Liam said, curious. I feel like a real jerk. From what she's told me, Liam's a great guy. I guess I was just being possessive, you know how guys can be. More than you'd think, Liam thought. He wondered if he'd been fair to Kevin, he seemed like a decent guy. I just hope I haven't ruined her friendship with Liam, Kevin said. I don't think it's fair to demand so much from her. Maybe he and I could become friends. Where has he been lately? He's visiting relatives for a few days, Liam answered. When he's back, I'll take him for a beer to smooth things over. Think he'd be okay with that? I think so, Liam said. Who's the jerk now? Maya and Scott returned to the table. What have you two been talking about? Maya asked. Oh, not much, Liam said, winking at Kevin. The evening went well, and soon they piled into Kevin's car to head home. Pulling into the driveway, Liam sensed Maya and Kevin would want some alone time. How about I take Scott inside for coffee, and you two check the car? Liam said with a wink. They blushed but agreed. Liam made 2 coffees and sat in the front room. He and Scott chatted some more. When Maya and Kevin finished talking in the car, Scott stood to leave. Sorry I wasn't more fun tonight, he said. You were fine, Liam smiled. Really? Great. I was wondering, would you be interested in going out again? Just the 2 of us? If not, no worries, I understand. Liam cut him off. I think that'd be okay. Why'd I say that? He wondered. I'll figure it out. Really? Awesome. I can reach you here? Scott stopped and looked into Lena's eyes. Oh no. I know what's coming. Scott awkwardly moved closer. Their lips met briefly, parted, then kissed again. Liam instinctively wrapped his arms around Scott's neck. They pulled apart, looking at each other. I'll call you, Scott said. Okay, Liam said, a bit dazed. I'd like that. Good night. Scott left, passing Maya, who looked very happy. Well, girl, what happened? Liam asked. We talked a lot. I think things will work out, she beamed. And you? I noticed 2 figures by the door for a while. Well, he did pay for my drinks, Liam said, slightly embarrassed. He's a nice guy, Scott. Yeah, Liam replied, distant. Let's talk, Maya said. They got coffee and sat around the table, talking for hours like old girlfriends. Liam didn't realize it, but he'd never felt closer to his best friend. Liam woke early but lay in bed, reflecting on the strange twists his life had taken. Here he was, with the body of a model, lounging in a silky nightie the morning after going on a date and kissing a guy goodnight, something he'd even enjoyed. Very strange. He heard Maya downstairs and got up, wrapping himself in the robe she lent him. She'd laid out breakfast. Good morning, she smiled. Yeah, Liam mumbled, still not a morning person despite everything. Kevin called before you woke, Maya said, pouring coffee. Scott couldn't stop talking about you last night. So, when's the next date? Oh crap, Liam thought, realizing he'd forgotten. Scott seemed like such a nice guy, and Liam genuinely felt bad for leading him on. Don't you remember we have an appointment with that occult shopkeeper today? Maya looked disappointed. Oh, yeah. Sorry, I guess I got carried away. It's been really fun having a close girlfriend. Part of me hoped it could stay like this. Liam pushed away those unwelcome thoughts. Maya, these past few days have been special. I feel like we've bonded in a way we never could before. But I'm still a guy on the inside, and I need to be who I really am. Yeah, you're right, Maya agreed quietly. They finished breakfast without much more said. Liam dressed in Maya's jeans and a white t-shirt. Together they drove toward the market and the little shop where Liam hoped to find answers. The shop stood exactly where Maya had said. They stepped inside and found the old man behind the counter. Hello, ladies. How can I help you today? Yes, Maya said. I was here a few days ago and bought a leprechaun statue to harmonize a relationship. Oh yes, lassie, I remember. Did the carving work for you? This is my friend Liam, Maya said. The old man looked at Liam and smiled. What an odd name for such a beautiful young lady. You don't understand, Liam replied. Until a few days ago, I wasn't a beautiful young lady. In fact, I wasn't a lady at all. Ah, the man said, scratching his chin. I see now. I should have known better than to trust leprechaun magic. Technically, the barriers to your friendship have been removed, eh? Yes, technically, Maya confirmed. Liam interrupted, but I'm attached to my old gender. I was a guy for 24 years and don't think I can just give that up. So how do I change back? The carving won't work anymore. No need to get upset, young man, the old man said calmly. I'm sorry. It's been a stressful week, Liam admitted, close to tears. I understand. The statue contains a mischievous, though not malicious, type of leprechaun magic. It's weak, but trying to reverse the spell could be impossible or even dangerous. So I'm stuck like this? Liam asked, frustrated. Not permanently, the old man explained. The carving's magic is weak, and once a wish is made, it needs time to recharge, a fortnight, to be exact. That's over a month, Liam sighed. Is there no faster way? I'm sorry, but no, the man replied. As they drove home, Maya tried to lift Liam's spirits. He stared out the window, deep in thought. Well, I've made it this far. I guess I can survive a month. By the time they arrived, Maya had cheered him up considerably. Soon they were joking like old times. They rented a movie and ordered Chinese food. Liam noticed his appetite had shrunk. Well, maybe I'll save money on groceries this month, he thought. He had eaten about half his chow mein when the phone rang. Maya answered and whispered to Liam, "It's Scott." The fun never stops, Liam thought. He was stuck in this body for at least another month and a half. Avoiding Scott would be hard. "I'll take it," he said. Scott's voice was nervously hopeful. "Hello, Lena." "Hi, Scott," Liam replied. "I was wondering about our talk the other night. You know, going out again? I know you like baseball, and I have 2 tickets for tomorrow night's game. Would you like to come?" Liam cut in, "Scott, I'd love to go." When they finally hung up, they'd talked for over 2 hours. Maya teased, well, looks like the line's free." "Don't start," Liam warned. "Oh, come on. Scott's a nice guy." "So, are you two going on a date?" she asked, emphasizing the word. "We're going to a baseball game. It's casual. We might as well be 2 guys. It's just a game." "Okay," she said. "Liam, I was wondering, you don't have to answer, but since you're in that body, have you felt any feelings someone in that body might normally feel?" "You mean, am I attracted to guys?" "I'm not sure. Like Scott on one hand, he's cool as a friend. On another, I feel repulsed at the thought of being around him as a woman. Yet, sometimes I feel something I'd call attraction, not like I ever felt as a guy liking a girl. It's confusing." "I'm sorry," Maya said softly. "It's okay," Liam replied. "I never would have guessed, but I'm having fun. I do miss peeing standing up, though." Maya laughed. "You pig." They talked and laughed late into the night. Liam agreed to let Maya pick his outfit for his date with Scott. She chose a casual tan floral sundress and sandals. Liam was hesitant about wearing a dress, but once he tried it, it felt comfortable. He wore his old faded denim jacket over it, earning praise from Maya for his style. He borrowed a brown leather purse from her for his money. Maya did his makeup and styled his hair. Standing before the hall mirror, Liam thought he looked pretty great. He wondered how Scott would like his look. Scott arrived at 6:30, giving them plenty of time to reach the game before the 7:30 opening pitch. Instead of rushing to eat beforehand, they agreed it would be better to grab a bite and a drink after the game. On the drive over, Liam was surprised by how relaxed he felt and how naturally the conversation flowed. Scott proved to be quite the gentleman, buying Liam a pennant, a program, a cap, and nearly every item he could find with the home team's logo until a blushing Liam finally told him to stop. When they reached their seats, Liam was amazed. He'd never had seats like these before, right by first base, just 6 rows up. When he asked how Scott got them, he learned Scott worked for a marketing firm connected to the team's business. Impressive, Liam thought. The home team dominated the game, and Liam had to convince Scott to stop apologizing for it not being closer. Afterwards, they left the car and walked to a nearby restaurant. The place was crowded with post-game patrons, but they found a quieter booth at the back. They ordered finger foods and 2 light beers. Liam was genuinely enjoying himself. "You know," Scott said, "I don't mean to sound sexist, but I've never met a girl who understands baseball like you do. Honestly, I'd love to bring you to the office sometime to show those macho wannabes that women know their stuff." Liam blushed. "Thank you, that's really sweet. Lena, you're a great person, fun to be around. When I first saw you, I was a bit intimidated by your looks. You're very pretty, but somehow I feel really comfortable with you." Liam smiled. "Gee, you're going to give me a big head. But thanks. I feel comfortable around you too." On the drive home, they chatted about baseball, politics, and the world. Nothing was off limits. Before they knew it, they were in front of Lena's place. Scott turned off the ignition. "I had a great time tonight," he said. "I hope we can do it again." "That sounds possible," Lena replied, not yet thinking about returning to being Liam in just over a month. Scott looked into Lena's eyes, then quickly looked away. When he glanced back, Lena nodded. Leaning in, their lips met in a kiss. They adjusted in their seats as Lena ran a hand through Scott's hair. "What am I doing?" Liam wondered, but pushed the thought aside to enjoy the moment. Scott pressed his tongue gently into Lena's mouth, which tasted unfamiliar but pleasant. As the windows fogged, Scott cupped Lena's clothed chest and began to massage it. "Wow," Liam thought, "that feels amazing, I better watch myself." After an indeterminate time, Lena pulled away. "I should go." Scott looked disappointed. "Yeah. I have to work tomorrow. Can I call?" "Of course," Lena laughed, leaning over to kiss him again. Lena gathered her baseball souvenirs and walked to the house, waving goodbye. Inside, Maya waited with a coffee. 2 hours and 13 minutes by my watch. Did the car locks freeze up?" "Haha, very funny," Lena replied. "Sit down and tell me, did you have a good time?" Liam thought, this is strange. Shouldn't I feel repulsed? I'm not gay, but I do have a woman's body. All he knew was he wanted to share the evening with someone, and telling Maya felt right. It was great. He was such a gentleman. He even bought me this ball, and after the game. Looking at himself in the mirror, even after a month in this new body, Liam was stunned. The past weeks had been a whirlwind. After the initial shock, he'd settled into a routine as normal as possible under the circumstances. Maya had been incredibly supportive, lending clothes, offering emotional support, and even guiding him through his first period, an experience Liam never expected. Though they'd been best friends before, their bond now felt more like sisters. Still, confusion remained. Liam or Lena spent much time with Scott, either alone or with Maya and Kevin. Lena cherished the time with Scott. They shared so much and felt comfortable together. But this confused Liam. He'd never had homo fantasies as a man, so his feelings for Scott scared him. Was he gay now? Or was it natural because he was in a woman's body? He wasn't sure what Scott meant to him. They were definitely friends, but their feelings seemed deeper. The physical side was limited, they hadn't gone far beyond kissing. Liam made sure of that. Kissing Scott didn't feel like kissing a guy in the way he'd imagined, it felt nice. Scott was a gentleman. The furthest he'd gone was touching Lena's chest during a makeout session. Liam couldn't fully understand his feelings and often pushed them out of his mind. About 2 weeks into Liam's bizarre journey, Maya suggested he consider getting a job. At first, Liam thought it was ridiculous, but Maya had a point. No matter his gender, he was falling behind on rent and groceries. Fair enough, he admitted. Maya had connected with a woman who owned a clothing boutique in a nearby mall. They needed temporary help until one of their regular salesgirls returned from maternity leave. Liam asked, "Fine, but what do I know about women's clothing?" Maya quickly gave him a crash course, from corsets to garters, A-line skirts to princess-cut dresses, slips to half-slips, and everything in between. Liam laughed, thinking if he impressed people with his baseball knowledge as Lena, just wait till they see how much he knows about lingerie as Liam. So here he was, preparing for work. He picked out a red blazer with black trim, a black pleated skirt, black stockings, and plain black pumps. Yes, he'd even mastered heels from Maya's closet. Underneath,
He wore a matching white lace bra and panty set, a garter belt for the stockings, and a white half-slip with a camisole. As he straightened his skirt under the blazer and slipped on his heels, he checked himself in the mirror. He'd even become skilled at doing his own makeup and hair. He looked like a model straight out of the fashion magazines he'd been reading lately, for work, of course, though he often found himself browsing the articles for fun. Well, he thought, if I have to be a woman, even temporarily, this is the way to do it. He headed downstairs, enjoying the feel of the short pleated skirt as he walked, and Maya drove him to the boutique. The job was surprisingly easy. Lots of folding and stocking, but the boutique was small and the clientele upscale compared to other mall stores. Lena found the customers friendly. After a few reserved shifts, she opened up and soon customers sought her fashion advice. The job paid a base wage plus commission. Liam never imagined he'd be a women's clothing saleswoman, but his paycheck grew steadily. Mrs. Ste Dubois, the owner, was warm and welcoming. Liam made friends with co-workers, especially Jasmine, a funny and beautiful mulatto university student who also gave valuable advice about Lena's relationship with Scott. One quiet evening around 8:30, Lena and Jasmine began closing up. Suddenly, Jasmine screamed, "Oh my God," and ran toward a woman carrying a newborn. "Lena, come meet someone," she called. "Lena, this is Claire, the one you're filling in for, and this is Peter," Claire said, gesturing to the baby in her arms. "Sorry, I can't shake your hand right now." "Hello," Lena smiled, "and aren't you a handsome little guy?" The baby seemed to like Lena instantly, smiling and laughing. "Let me hold him," Jasmine asked, and Claire passed the baby over. "So, when are you done with maternity leave?" "Well, that's sort of why I'm here," Claire explained. "John got a promotion, so we don't really need the money. I'd rather spend time with Peter. I just don't want to leave Mrs. Ste Dubois in a bind." "Well, we've got Lena here," Jasmine said, laughing. "She's breaking your sales records anyway." "I thought you were only available until the end of the month?" Claire asked. "Yeah, unfortunately," Lena replied. "We'll figure something out," Jasmine said, handing Lena the baby. "I don't know." "Oh come on, he won't bite." "Yeah, I just fed him," Claire added with a chuckle. Lena accepted the baby. Instead of feeling awkward, it was surprisingly pleasant. Holding the child, Liam felt warmth spread through him. Catching his reflection, a woman holding a baby, left him confused and emotional. "He's such a beautiful baby." Lena handed Peter back, and the three women chatted about babies, birth, and life. Lena still felt a strange but not unpleasant emotion, a totally new feeling. Claire eventually left, and Lena and Jasmine finished closing the shop. Jasmine called out, "Your man's here." Lena turned to see Scott enter. "Hello, Jasmine. How are you?" he asked. "Fine, Mr. Scott," Jasmine smiled. "Here to pick up your Nordic goddess." Scott blushed. "I talked to Maya, she said she'd come get you, so I offered." "Hope that's okay." Lena kissed his cheek. "Of course. Thanks. Want to grab a drink afterward?" Scott smiled. "I was hoping you'd say that." "We'll lock up here," Lena said, still feeling that strange emotion that shifted whenever she saw Scott. Scott went outside to wait at the mall while Jasmine gave Lena a teasing look. "Ouch, his one fine piece of work," she said. "Yeah," Lena replied, distant. "So, sister, how's he doing?" "At what?" "You know, the big what between the sheets," Jasmine winked. Lena blushed. "Oh, you haven't. Girl, you must have some serious self-control." "Yeah," Lena murmured as Jasmine locked the boutique doors and Lena stared at Scott waiting outside. About 2 weeks into Liam's strange new life, Maya brought up the idea of him getting a job. At first, Liam thought it was ridiculous, but Maya made a good point. No matter his gender, he was falling behind on rent and groceries. "Fair enough," he admitted. Maya mentioned a friend who owned a boutique in a nearby mall. They needed temporary help until one of their salesgirls returned from maternity leave. Liam agreed but asked, "What do I know about women's clothes?" Maya gave him a quick crash course, from corsets to garters, A-line skirts to princess-cut dresses, slips and half-slips. Liam laughed, thinking if he'd impressed people with his baseball knowledge as Lena, just wait till they saw how much he knew about lingerie as Liam. So, here he was getting ready for work. He picked out a red blazer with black trim, a black pleated skirt, black stockings, and plain black pumps. Yes, he'd even mastered heels, from Maya's closet. Underneath, he wore a matching white lace bra and panties, a garter belt for the stockings, a white half-slip, and a camisole. As he smoothed down his skirt and slipped into his heels, he glanced in the mirror. He'd become quite skilled at doing his own makeup and hair. He looked like a model from the fashion magazines he'd been reading for work, he told himself, though he often found himself lost in the articles. Well, he thought, if I have to be a woman, even briefly, this is the way to go. He walked downstairs, enjoying the feel of the pleated skirt swishing around his legs, and Maya drove him to work. The job was easier than he expected. Lots of folding and stocking, but the boutique was small and the clientele upscale compared to other mall stores. Lena found customers friendly. After a few shifts of being reserved, she opened up, and soon customers came to her for fashion advice. The pay was a base wage plus commission. Liam never imagined he'd be a women's clothing saleswoman, but his paycheck grew every week. Mrs. Ste Dubois, the owner, was warm and kind. Liam made friends with co-workers, especially Jasmine, a funny and beautiful mulatto university student who offered great advice about Lena's relationship with Scott. One quiet evening around 8:30, Lena and Jasmine began closing the shop. Suddenly, Jasmine screamed, "Oh my God," and ran toward a woman carrying a newborn. "Lena, come meet someone," she called. "Lena, this is Claire, the one you're filling in for, and this is Peter," Claire said, motioning to the infant in her arms. "Sorry, I can't shake your hand right now." "Hello," Lena smiled, "and aren't you a handsome little guy?" The baby seemed to like Lena instantly, smiling and laughing. "Let me hold him," Jasmine asked, and Claire passed the baby over. "So, when's maternity leave over?" "Well, that's sort of why I'm here," Claire explained. "John got a promotion, so we don't really need the money. I want to spend time with Peter. I just don't want to leave Mrs. Ste Dubois in a bind." "Well, we've got Lena here," Jasmine said with a grin. "She's breaking your sales records anyway." "I thought you were only here until the end of the month?" Claire asked. "Yeah, unfortunately," Lena replied. "We'll figure something out," Jasmine said, handing Lena the baby. "I don't know." "Oh come on, he won't bite." "Yeah, I just fed him," Claire added with a chuckle. Lena took the baby. Instead of feeling awkward, it was surprisingly comforting. Holding the child, Liam felt warmth spread through him. Seeing his reflection, a woman with a baby, left him confused and emotional. "He's such a beautiful baby." Lena handed Peter back, and the three women chatted about babies, birth, and life. Lena still felt a strange but not unpleasant new emotion. Claire left eventually, and Lena and Jasmine finished closing. Jasmine called out, "Your man's here." Lena turned to see Scott enter. "Hello, Jasmine. How are you?" he asked. "Fine, Mr. Scott," Jasmine smiled. "Here to pick up your Nordic goddess." Scott blushed. "I talked to Maya, she said she'd come get you, so I offered." "Hope that's okay." Lena kissed his cheek. "Of course. Thanks. Want to grab a drink after?" Scott smiled. "I was hoping you'd say that." "We'll lock up here," Lena said, still feeling that strange emotion that shifted whenever she saw Scott. Scott went outside to wait at the mall while Jasmine teased Lena. "Ouch, his one fine piece of work," she said. "Yeah," Lena answered, distant. "So, sister, how's he doing?" "At what?" "You know, the big what between the sheets," Jasmine winked. Lena blushed. "Oh, you haven't. Girl, you must have some serious self-control." "Yeah, Lena murmured as Jasmine locked the boutique doors, and Lena stared out at Scott waiting in the mall. As the shift wound down, Jasmine tried to persuade Lena to join her for a drink to celebrate her last day at work. Lena initially declined, but Jasmine kept insisting until Lena finally agreed to have a quick one. She called Maya to let her know Jasmine would be driving her home. They headed to a nearby bar, where they each had a drink and exchanged small talk. Eventually, Jasmine brought up Scott. "Lena, I hope I'm not overstepping, but you've seemed really distant lately. I have a feeling it has something to do with Scott." Liam glanced at Jasmine, thinking how pretty she was. I might have been attracted to her before, or maybe even now. He wondered. "Thanks for caring, Jasmine. It's more than just Scott, though. Did he do something wrong?" "No, he's a complete gentleman. Probably the nicest guy on the planet." "Then what's the problem?" "It's just the situation, I guess. Lena, I don't know all the details, but my mother always told me no sacrifice is too great for love. If you really care for Scott, then forget the rest." Jasmine's words echoed in Lena's mind on the way home. As she got out of the car, Jasmine smiled at her. "Don't be a stranger, okay? And Mrs. Ste Du Bois will always have a job waiting for you. And what I said earlier, it's true." Liam nodded. "Thanks, Jasmine. Goodbye." Maya was waiting when Liam got home. "What's going on?" "Maya, my life's been spinning too fast. I don't know which way is up anymore. Want to talk?" Liam hesitated, then nodded. "Yeah, I think I do. Go ahead. Ever since the change, so much has happened. And you've handled it bravely, I think. But it's left me confused. You and we were close before, but now it's like we barely know each other. And then there's Scott. I don't want to hurt him, Maya, but things just can't work out." "Can't they?" Liam thought for a moment. "I don't think so. My feelings for Scott worry me the most. I've never had a gay thought before, but here I am, feeling deeply for another man. Considering your current body, I don't think that counts as being gay. I don't know. I like to think my mind hasn't changed, but maybe it has. When I think of Scott, it doesn't feel gay, it feels normal. There's a bond between us that goes beyond gender. But how will I handle it when I'm male again? And I don't want to hurt him more, so I guess I'll just stay away until the time's up." "Don't you owe him an explanation?" "It's too hard." Liam sat quietly a while longer, looking at the leprechaun statue on the mantel before going to bed. Liam spent most of the next 3 days lying around, waiting for the inevitable. The night before the leprechaun would be recharged, Maya went to Kevin's, leaving Liam alone to sort through his emotions. Somehow, he mustered the energy for a shower, did his hair and makeup, and chose a deep red nightgown from Maya's closet, tying a matching robe over it. Staring in the hall mirror, he thought, "I must be crazy, just like a woman, dressing up to boost my spirits. Do I even like how I look?" He curled up on the couch, half watching TV without focus. Occasionally, his eyes drifted to the leprechaun statue, but he quickly looked away, not wanting to think. Suddenly, the doorbell rang, making him jump. Looking out, he recognized Scott. Hesitantly, Liam opened the door. "Hello. Want to come in?" "If you don't mind, I won't stay long, I promise," Scott replied. They sat, Scott in the recliner, Lena on the couch. Scott began, "Lena, I don't know what happened, but I need to talk. I've replayed it over and over in my mind. If I did anything to offend you, believe me, it was never my intention." "Scott, let me finish. Lena, I've never met anyone like you. I feel closer to you than anyone else. It's not because you're beautiful, that's not it. You shine with an inner beauty far greater than appearances. The last 2 weeks have been hell. I don't go a minute without wondering what went wrong or if you're okay. I don't know how to say this, so I'll just say it. Lena, I'm in love with you. I hope we can try to pick up where we left off. Please? I love you." Liam stared at Scott, tears welling. "Scott, I love you too. I was afraid I'd have to leave, so I didn't want to get too close. Lena started crying, and Scott wrapped her in his arms. There, come on. We can only live in the moment, not worry about tomorrow. Right now, I love you more than anything. Lena looked up. He wiped her tears away. Their eyes met, and she leaned in for a kiss. Their tongues met. Liam felt no regret or guilt, only joy. They broke apart, stared at each other, then Lena took his hand and led him upstairs. Pausing at the bedroom door, they shared a gentle kiss before going inside. They stood facing each other in the dim room. As their lips met, they slowly and carefully undressed one another. Lena unbuttoned Scott's shirt and pulled his pants down to his ankles. She slipped off her robe while Scott lifted her nightgown over her head. Scott stepped out of his pants and boxer shorts. Naked, they embraced again, sharing a deep kiss. Scott's hands explored Lena's soft, feminine curves, massaging her chests and tracing her shape. Lena reached down to touch Scott's hardening erection, gently stroking him to excitement. Still kissing, Scott lifted Lena onto the bed. Their kissing deepened as Lena continued to fondle Scott's now fully excited member. Scott caressed Lena's pointers and traced between her thighs, trailing kisses down her neck to her chests, where he kissed and gently sucked her pointers. A warm flush of desire blossomed within Lena. As their lips met again, she looked deeply into Scott's eyes. Liam reflected silently. He felt no shame, guilt, or regret, only warmth and love for Scott. This female body had unlocked feelings he hadn't known before. What mattered wasn't what he thought was right, but what felt right. He knew continuing would change his life forever, but Jasmine was right, no sacrifice was too great for love. In that moment, Liam was certain he loved Scott with all his heart. "Is this okay?" Scott asked, searching Lena's eyes. "Yes," she whispered, parting her legs. Scott teased the outside of her female organ, then slowly entered her. Lena let out a soft whimper as he filled her gently. His movements were slow but deliberate, loving and attentive. Lena relaxed her head against the headboard and gripped it as Scott's pace increased. She felt a powerful build rising inside her, waves of pleasure coursing through every nerve. A shuddering sigh escaped her as a strong peak overtook her, followed by another and a gentle afterglow. "I love you, Scott," she murmured. As she spoke, Scott tensed and released deeply into her, his body shuddering. The sensation triggered another series of small peaks for Lena. The lovers collapsed into one another's arms, exchanging tender kisses and gazing wordlessly. Lena drifted off, resting her head on Scott's chest, listening to his heartbeat. Later, in the quiet darkness, Lena awoke and thought. She truly was Lena now. Making love to Scott had awakened that part of her. She was still Liam, but had grown into someone new. Everything she had known and loved remained, but a new dimension had opened within her. She closed her eyes and fell back asleep in Scott's embrace. Lena was in the kitchen making breakfast when Maya and Kevin arrived. Maya looked puzzled seeing Lena instead of Liam. "Lena, I thought Liam was coming back today." "Oh," Lena replied, "he called. He's decided to travel for a while, explore new cultures, and find himself. He apologized for any inconvenience and said he'd send a month's rent as soon as he could. He also hopes things work out between you and Kevin. He thinks you're a really nice guy." Maya smiled coyly. "So, I guess that means you'll be staying a while." "If you don't mind," Lena said with a smile. "Besides, you could use the help with rent." Kevin grinned. "I'm starving. Mind if I join you for breakfast?" "Looks like there's plenty." Before Lena could answer, Scott entered. "Oh, hello, I didn't hear you come in." Maya and Kevin exchanged knowing looks as Scott blushed. The four shared breakfast, laughing and talking as if they'd always been a close group. Later, after the men had left, Maya asked Lena why she'd made her choice. "I guess I realized Lena was as much a part of me as Liam. It had always been that way, it was just the right time to be Lena. And if it doesn't work out, I can always change back." "Do you think you'll want to?" Maya asked. "Who can say? But right now, I'm truly happy. I have wonderful friends and I'm in love. It would take a lot to give this up. They embraced tightly, both knowing they'd never been closer. As it turned out, Mrs. St. Du Bois never filled the position and instead hired Lena back full-time. Jasmine was thrilled to see her friend return to work and even more so to see her happy again. Meanwhile, Maya and Kevin decided to get married, with Scott as best man and Lena as bridesmaid. It came as no surprise when Lena and Scott soon announced their own engagement. Their wedding was nothing short of storybook perfect, with everyone remarking on how stunning the bride looked. Lena soon became pregnant with Scott's child, and their love only deepened with the arrival of their baby. Though she had long since forgotten about the leprechaun carving, she never forgot the magic it had brought into her life. Don't forget to join me on Patreon for exclusive content,